Welcome to Year in Review, the show where we break down a year to bring you some of the most notable moments in TV and film month by month. The year was 2010. Netflix was swimming upstream, Kathryn Bigelow made Oscar history, Facebook hit 500 million users, and Steve Jobs released the first ever iPad. The hits keep coming with the launch of Instagram and subsequent rise of zany styles in One Direction. So what was it about this year that kept us up all night making midnight memories, watching the stories of our lives, never wanting to take me home? Tell me, 2010, what makes you beautiful? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane to find out. Here's your Year in Review 2010 edition.
Crazy people, they're the perfect subjects. They talk, nobody listens. I stood a dark hour. We saw what human beings are capable of doing to each other, right? For Christ's sakes, we fought a god war to stop them, and now I find out it may be happening here, on our soil?
Based on Dennis Lahan's novel of the same name, Shutter Island is a psychological thriller by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, Michelle Williams, and Ben Kingsley. Leo's character, Teddy Daniels, is a U.S. Marshal investigating an asylum that sits atop a desolate, dreary, storm-inflicted island in Boston Harbor. Ah, paradise.
Which would be worse? To live as a monster? Or to die as a good man?
Teddy's tormented past impedes his work and finds him at odds with his own sanity and itching to know what's going on in that darn lighthouse. Despite mixed reviews, the film opened at number 1 in the US box office and scored Scorsese, save that 5 times fast, his second highest grossing film to date. Critics say it may not rank with Scorsese's best work, but Shutter Island's gleefully unapologetic genre thrills represent the director at his most unrestrained.
We know Alice has returned to Wonderland. Do you know where she is?
I've been considering things that begin with the letter M. Moron.
Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland stars Mia Wasikowska, Johnny Depp, and Helena Bonham Carter. The Disney-distributed film takes some narrative liberties while also respecting the iconic elements of Lewis Carroll's novels like trippy dreams, whimsical Mad Hatters, and Jabberwockies. It's like a dragon, just weirder. Like most Burton productions, it was lauded for its imaginative visual landscape, utilizing the latest CGI technology and visual effects designed by Sony's ImageWorks.
Off with his head!
I can't watch.
Alice in Wonderland was the 6th film in history to gross over $1 billion worldwide. Don't believe me? Go ask Alice. Critics say Tim Burton's Alice sacrifices the book's minimal narrative coherence and much of its heart, but it's an undeniable visual treat.
Okay there, bud. We're gonna take this nice and slow. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Position 3, no, 4.
Oh, and speaking of Jabberwockies, How to Train Your Dragon is a computer-animated fantasy film inspired by Cressida Cowell's 2003 novel of the same name. The film was produced by DreamWorks and features a first-rate voice cast, a poignant script, and an arresting score by John Powell. It tells the story of Hiccup, a teenager who builds an unlikely friendship with the injured dragon he coins Toothless.
Hey, Toothless. Happy to see you too, bud. Oh, what?
Their relationship conflicts with the fighting traditions of the Vikings, but presents an opportunity for positive change in a culture bound by its past. With 2 sequels, 2 Oscar nods, a worldwide gross of $500 million, and a certified fresh score at 99% on the Tomatometer, How to Train Your Dragon soars above the rest. Critics say, boasting dazzling animation, a script with surprising dramatic depth, and thrilling 3D sequences, How to Train Your Dragon soars.
I don't want to join your super secret boy band. No. See, I remember you do everything yourself. How's it working out for you? I'm sorry, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot. Do I look at the patch or the eye?
RDJ returns for the second installment in the Iron Man film franchise. Directed by Jon Favreau and written by the multifaceted Justin Theroux, the film was the second Marvel movie to be set within the Avengers universe. We follow mad genius billionaire Tony Stark as he thwarts the military's interest in his technology, struggles with his declining health, and scuffles with a vindictive Russian scientist.
Speaking of thieves, where did you get this design?
My father, Anton Uncle.
Oh, I never heard of him.
My father is the reason you're alive.
Is it better to have critical or commercial success? I say it's not too much to ask for both. Iron Man 2 grossed over $302 million in the US and received an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects. Critics say it isn't quite the breath of fresh air that Iron Man was, but the sequel comes close with solid performances and an action-packed plot.
Clear! Miles, are we clear? Yeah, looks like it to me! He says we're good. You better pray we are, Ricky boy, because I'm gonna spin her around. Hold on!
13.5 million Americans tuned in for The End, the series finale of everyone's favorite trapped on an island drama, apart from Naked and Afraid. Directed by Jack Bender and written by Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, the episode was polarizing and became one of the most controversial season finales of all time. The Huffington Post selected The End as their choice for the most disappointing series finale of all time, and the Daily Mirror said that it left viewers with even more unanswered questions.
We gotta go now.
I don't understand. Locke's dead. Why is this still happening?
Because whatever Desmond turned off, I need to turn it back on again. But if it doesn't work, if I don't get it done, you all need to leave now. You need to be on that plane.
Debuting on ABC in September 2004, the series spawned 6 seasons, 121 episodes, and won 11 Emmys. The overall success and adoration of Lost will far outweigh that irksome finale, I think. I don't know though, people are still pretty upset. Critics say Lost's shift in central mythology won't satisfy all viewers, but persistent fans will find solace in the show's strong performances and continued dedication to its themes.
How many words do they expect you to learn in one night?
Stringent. Tough, inflexible.
It's not like you're gonna actually use them.
Meretricious.
I mean, it's not like you go to college and then you just start speaking a completely different language.
It's about getting into college. Meretricious, phony, flashy.
Citing Alfred Hitchcock as an influence, Marlene King's Pretty Little Liars is a twisted teen drama that originally aired on the Freeform network. The series is loosely based on Sarah Shepard's novel of the same name and follows the lives of 5 best friends shaken up by a sudden disappearance and the mysteries that ensue. It was one of the first shows to exploit the growing popularity of social media, utilizing Twitter, discussion forums, and Facebook Live to connect with audiences. Critics say, murder, mystery, and makeup. These troubled but well-dressed teenagers take us on a compelling guilty pleasure cruise through the first season of Pretty Little Liars.
Woody, look! I can see daylight! We're gonna be okay!
I don't think that's daylight.
Woody and Buzz return yet again in Pixar's Toy Story 3. The ensemble cast features veterans Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, and new additions Michael Keaton, Whoopi Goldberg, and Timothy Dalton. As Andy prepares to leave for college, his toy troop is mistakenly donated to a daycare center where the kids aren't so nice to our little plastic friends. Led by Woody, the gang must escape and find their way home, wherever that may be.
To infinity and beyond!
Now, you gotta promise to take good care of these guys. They mean a lot to me.
The film was 2010's biggest box office hit, earning over $1 billion worldwide, which also made it the highest grossing animated film to date. In addition to commercial success, Toy Story 3 was nominated for 5 Oscars and has a certified fresh score of 98% on the Tomatometer. To infinity and beyond, Pixar! Critics say, deftly blending comedy, adventure, and honest emotion, Toy Story 3 is a rare second sequel that really works.
Doesn't he own a shirt?
Eclipse is the third movie based on Stephenie Meyer's wildly popular Twilight book series. Directed by David Slade, the film finds Bella, Kristen Stewart, battling an angry vampire, a different angry vampire, and having to choose between her love for Edward, Robert Pattinson, and her friendship for Jacob, Taylor Lautner. Of course, this begs the age-old question that's puzzled philosophers and scholars since the breaking dawn of time. Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Forget it. She may need her toes someday. And let's face it, I am hotter than you.
Eclipse was a box office win, but received mixed reviews, such as this one from Roger Ebert that claims the mountain range in the film looks like landscapes painted by that guy on TV who shows you how to paint stuff like that. Don't you dare bring Bob Ross into this. Critics say, stuffed with characters and overly reliant on uninspired dialogue, Eclipse won't win the Twilight Saga many new converts, despite an improved blend on romance and action fantasy.
Am I upset? No, I am not. A little, but we have had a pretty good year ourselves. And you guys are all right in my book. No raises. You're not going to get any raises.
The film that introduced us to those adorable little minions, and the film that launched the highest grossing animated franchise in history. Take that, Pixar! Despicable Me is the story of a supervillain named Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, who devises an evil plan to hijack the moon. Nothing will stand in his way, except of course the three precious orphan girls who are fixated on making him their dad.
As I was saying, hey,
Somebody broke that.
Okay. Clearly we need to set some rules. Rule number 1. You will not touch anything.
What about the floor?
Yes, you may touch the floor.
The film was produced by Illumination and has been followed by 2 sequels, 2 spin-off prequels, several short films, a TV special, video games, and a theme park attraction. Critics say, borrowing heavily and intelligently from Pixar and Looney Tunes, Despicable Me is a surprisingly thoughtful, family-friendly treat with a few surprises of its own.
Let me ask you a question. You never really remember the beginning of a dream, do you? You always wind up right in the middle of what's going on.
I guess, yeah.
So how did we end up here?
Next up, we bring you Christopher Nolan's Inception, the sci-fi action thriller that features dreams inside dreams, infiltrating other dreams, all stuffed within a dream. It's the turducken of movies.
I'm just trying to understand. How could you understand?
With an ingenious script, also by Nolan, and an extraordinary cast that includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Ken Watanabe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Elliot Page, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger, and Michael Caine, Inception checks all the box office boxes. The film earned $836.8 million worldwide, won 4 out of 8 Oscar nominations, including Best Cinematography and Best Visual Effects, and is certified fresh with a Tomatometer score of 87%. Somebody pinch me.
So you want guards that are gone?
I want them dead. What it takes is a little army. Only an idiot would do this job.
How much?
No, like I said, I'm busy anyway, so give this job to my friend here. He loves playing in the jungle, right?
Right.
Busting down the door in a 3-part film series, The Expendables features a shredded ensemble of Hollywood tough guys: Stallone, Jet Li, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Steve Austin, Terry Crews, and Mickey Rourke. Stallone directs and stars as Barney Ross, a mercenary who leads his company of loyal men to the fake South American country of Valena, which quickly regresses into a suicide mission.
Great job.
That was a statement.
Sure, it's over the top, the plot gets rocky at points, and it may even leave some cliffhangers, but The Expendables judo chopped the box office, opening at number 1 and grossing $274 million. Critics say it makes good on the old-fashioned action it promises, but given all the talent on display, The Expendables should hit harder.
What did you think these were? Kisses? 7 little kisses? 7 deadly X's.
Shaun of the Dead director Edgar Wright delivers yet another cult classic hit with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, based on the graphic novel by Brian Lee O'Malley. Michael Cera plays Scott, a bass-slapping stud who unexpectedly falls for the chameleon-haired Ramona Flowers. All would be groovy if not for her army of ex-boyfriends who all share the same goal: eliminate Scott Pilgrim.
I totally understand if you don't want to hang out anymore.
No, I want to hang. It's, you know, the whole evil ex-boyfriend thing
Exes.
It's no biggie.
Unfortunately, the film bombed and failed to recoup its hefty budget of $80 million, but that didn't stop audiences and critics from loving its eye-popping visuals and innovative use of video game tropes and imagery. Critics say its script may not be as dazzling as its eye-popping visuals, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is fast, funny, and inventive.
Whoa, wait a minute. What? You didn't have...
No, of course not.
You liar. You totally lost your V-card to him.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Tell me everything.
Rhea, I'm not that kind of girl.
Taking inspiration from Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, Easy A is a Cali-based teen comedy directed by Will Gluck. Emma Stone sparkles as Olive, a clean-cut high school student entangled in her own web of lies. The role would slingshot Stone's career and secure her as a global star with box office draw. The film prospered financially, earning $75 million on a humble budget of $8 million. Critics say it owes a huge debt to older, and better, teen comedies, but Easy A proves a smart, witty showcase for its irresistibly charming star, Emma Stone.
Is it true what they're saying?
I believe so, my lord.
I'm afraid we'll know some people on it. I don't suppose there are any lists of survivors yet.
I understand most of the ladies were taken off in time.
You mean the ladies in first class? God help the poor devils below decks. On their way to a better life. What a tragedy.
Created by Julian Fellows, Downton Abbey became the most watched series on both PBS and ITV. Following the opulent lives of the Crawley family, the show begins with the male heirs to the fictional estate Downton Abbey dying on the Titanic, leaving confusion as to which offspring will take over once the current lord dies. Toss in some post-Edwardian era events such as the First World War, the Spanish influenza pandemic, and the Marconi scandal, and you've got some ace entertainment. Downton Abbey earned the most Emmy nominations of an international television series in history, 27 to be exact, winning 15. The show also ran for 6 seasons and was adapted into a 2019 feature film. Critics say Downton Abbey transcends its soapy plotting with witty dialogue, lavish costumes and sets, and an outstanding cast.
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back at the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. Did I adequately answer your condescending question?
The Social Network is the story of Mark Zuckerberg, the Harvard computer whiz who built Facebook. You know, the largest, most consequential social network in history. The plot is aptly summarized in its tagline: you don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies. With graceful direction by David Fincher, a superior script by Aaron Sorkin, and a striking score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, The Social Network was tagged for glory.
They don't want you. They want your idea. And they want you to say thank you while you, excuse me, wipe your chin and walk away.
The film was critically acclaimed, garnering 8 Oscar nominations and winning for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Score, and Best Film Editing. But how many likes did it get? That's the real question. Critics say, impeccably scripted, beautifully directed, and filled with fine performances, The Social Network is a riveting, ambitious example of modern filmmaking at its finest.
Little girl? I'm a policeman. Little girl. Don't be afraid, okay? Little girl.
Arguably the biggest show of the decade, AMC's The Walking Dead is a post-apocalyptic drama infused with zombies, aka walkers. So many walkers. The show stars Andrew Lincoln in the lead role of Rick Grimes, a sheriff deputy who wakes from a coma to discover a world where humans in survival mode prove to be more threatening than the rampant zombies themselves. Based on the comic book series of the same name, The Walking Dead has become a mega franchise with a spin-off series, a web series, films, novels, video games, the list walks on. Critics say blood-splattered, emotionally resonant, and white-knuckle intense, The Walking Dead puts an intelligent spin on the overcrowded zombie subgenre.
How can I help you, Mr. Potter?
Well, actually, it was about something you were wearing around your neck at the wedding. It was a symbol.
You mean this?
Yes. That exactly. What we wondered is, what is it?
David Yates directs this two-part fantasy feature in the Harry Potter film franchise, based on J.K. Rowling's you know what, you already know what Harry Potter is. Moving on. Our usual, slightly matured heroes return as we follow Harry, Ron, and Hermione on their mission to destroy the Horcruxes, the source of Voldemort's immortality.
Now, I'll have to speak to it in order for it to open. When it does, don't hesitate. I don't know what's in there, but it'll put up a fight. The bit of riddle that was in that diary tried to kill me.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 was the third highest grossing film of 2010 and received Oscar nods for Best Art Direction and Best Visual Effects. Critics say, it can't help but feel like the prelude it is, but Deathly Hallows Part 1 is a beautifully filmed, emotionally satisfying penultimate installment for the Harry Potter series.
My husband is, well, he's required to speak publicly.
Perhaps he should change jobs.
He can't.
Indentured servitude.
Something of that nature, yes.
British-Australian director Tom Hooper delivers this historical drama about a young prince soon to take the throne as King George IV. Only problem is this prince suffers from a speech impediment and must overcome his stammer if he hopes to effectively lead the United Kingdom. Colin Firth, Helena Bonham Carter, and Jeffrey Rush give elevated performances that garnered widespread acclaim. The film was also nominated for 12 Oscars, the most of any film that year, winning for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor Firth, and Best Original Screenplay.
To me! Listen to me! Listen to you by what right? By divine right, if you must. I'm your king. No, you're not. You told me so yourself. You said you didn't want it. Why should I waste my time listening to you? Because I have a right to be, and I have a voice!
Aside from critical success, A King's Speech was a commercial victory, grossing $427.4 million internationally against a budget of $15 million. Dare I say, a film fit for a king? Too on the nose? Critics say Colin Firth gives a masterful performance in The King's Speech, a predictable but stylishly produced and rousing period drama.
Big day's getting closer and closer, huh? Well, I can't wait. I think you're gonna be amazing. Thanks.
Known for his surrealist and often disturbing style, director Darren Aronofsky doesn't disappoint with Black Swan, a psychological horror movie that granted Natalie Portman her first Oscar. Portman plays Nina, the tenacious ballerina whose dark side is exacerbated by a flashy newcomer named Lily. The plot centers around a production of the ballet Swan Lake, in which Lily and Nina must contend for the principal role.
Lily, you made her my alternate.
Well, there's always an alternate. Lily's the best choice.
No, but she wants my role.
Every dancer in the world wants your role.
No, this is different. She's after me. She's trying to replace me.
Nobody's after you.
No, please believe me.
Black Swan was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and is certified fresh with a Tomatometer score of 85%. Critics say, bracingly intense, passionate, and wildly melodramatic, Black Swan glides on Darren Aronofsky's bold direction and a bravura performance from Natalie Portman.
This is supposed to be my fight. This is my shot at the title. I won't get another one after this. Am I being selfish? No. Am I saying Mickey, Mickey, Mickey? 'Cause you know what? If I am, I'm sorry. I thought I was fighting for the championship, and I thought you were my mother, too.
I am your mother.
Everyone's favorite Boston celebrity, no, not Ben Affleck, the one in The Departed, no, not Matt Damon, behold that thought, it's Wahlberg, people. Mark Wahlberg stars in The Fighter, a biographical sports drama directed by David O. Russell. Wahlberg is Mickey Ward, a professional boxer with a shot at the world title. He just needs his crack addiction brother and overpowering manager to be in his corner and not in his way.
You're not my manager anymore, and I'm not waiting for Dickie, okay? I'm not getting any younger.
Who's gonna look after you, sweetheart? I mean, come on. I know you don't understand it, but I had 9 kids, and I love every one of you the same.
You got a funny way of showing it, letting him get beat up, letting him get his hand broken.
The film boasts dynamic performances by Wahlberg, Amy Adams, Christian Bale, and Melissa Leo, and was nominated for 7 Oscars, winning for Best Supporting Actor Bale and Best Supporting Actress Leo. With an audience score of 89%, this film really knocked it out of the park. It's wicked good. Critics say, led by a trio of captivating performances from Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams, The Fighter is a solidly entertaining, albeit predictable, entry into the boxing drama genre.
I heard the rifle, and I felt the ball. You missed your shot, Cogburn.
Missed my shot!
You are more handicapped without the eye than I without the arm.
I can hit a gnat's eye at 90 yards.
All right, back to Damon. True Grit is an American Western drama brought to you by the notorious Coen brothers and based on Charles Portis's 1968 novel of the same name. When outlaw Tom Chaney murders the father of a young farm girl named Maddie, she enlists the help of a boozy and trigger-happy lawman to seek vengeance. The film stars Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, and Haley Steinfeld, whose performance made her one of the youngest Oscar nominees ever.
They tell me you're a man with true grit.
What do you want, girl? Speak up at supper time.
Let me do that. Your makings are too dry. I'm looking for the man who shot and killed my father, Frank Ross, in front of the Monarch boarding house. The man's name is Tom Chaney. They say he's over in Indian Territory, and I need somebody to go after him.
What's your name, girl?
My name is Maddie Ross.
In total, True Grit was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Cinematography, and garnered a certified fresh score of 95% on the Tomatometer. True Grit? More like True Hit, critics say, girded by strong performances from Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, and newcomer Haley Steinfeld, and lifted by some of the Coens' most finely tuned, unaffected work, True Grit is a worthy companion to the Charles Portis book. There you have it, our highlights from a blockbuster-heavy year filled with birds and dragons, kings and wizards, cowboys and climbers, talking toys and zombies, oh, and some dudes from Boston.
You're crazy.
Mickey is my... What did I just say to you?
Hands.
What did I say?